Another childhood favorite crawls from the 80s and onto our toy shelves. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Big Bad Workshop, Cops and Crooks, Bulletproof. If Saturday morning cartoons fueled your imagination as a kid and powers your action figure collecting now as an adult, then you're in the right place. Thanks for stopping by and welcome to Saturday Morning Toy Collector. And if you like my content, please consider subscribing. Over the past year, Articulated Empire has become your trusted online retailer. They carry all the latest lines like Mythic Legions, Valaverse, AWOC, Zesray Studios, and much, much more. They ship your items quickly and securely. You'll be quite happy with how Steve and his team follow through with their care and attention. Articulated Empire also offers free shipping over $75 and no tax except for Illinois residents. So head over to articulatedempire.com today and build your empire. All right, here is a closer look at the package, and I'm digging it. You know, while I do think it would have been nice to have these on like a retro card and bubble, maybe with some collector-friendly clamshell on it, Big Bad Workshop does things in a certain way. And they're like, hey, you know, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Little starburst right here says includes crime-fighting pistol, briefcase, and soft goods trench coat, bulletproof federal agent. We do have that, book style opening where you get a little bit of a comic book panel here. If you want to pause that and give it a read, you certainly can. You can see Bulletproof right there without his jacket on. We have the name right there for you inbox collectors. Cops and Crooks up there. Nice artwork ghosted in the background on that side. And then here on the back, we have a nice little write-up of the world of Cops and Crooks. And then an ID card if you want to, cut that out. And then this is really cool. You can see the next two in line is going to be Long Arm and Dr. Bad Vibes. Now, I talked to the guys from Big Bad Workshop at ZoloCon, and they said that their plan is to do a wave of two characters, a good guy and a bad guy, and they're still trying to work out if they're going to do 2 of these drops a year, so that would be 4 figures, or 3 drops a year, which would be 6 figures. They said they want to be very conscious of our budgets, and I guess also the other lines that they have, Soldiers of Fortune and, Operation Monster Force, of course, and then all their little sublines that they have. So, very nice packaging for people who want to keep them in box. It makes me want to keep this box as well. So, let's get him opened up and take a closer look. All right, starting with all the stuff he comes with, which is quite a bit. You do get this really nice Cops and Crooks base. It's a very simple base. Nothing, outstanding here, just a regular base. We do get some pieces that are ported over directly from the Operation Monster Force line, which is a little smoking effect for the end of his rifle, and then a blast effect piece, which is pretty neat. We do get his classic style gun. Nothing comes out. This doesn't move. No cap firing this time, but we kind of knew that was a thing. You can see the porthole right there for the blast effects and the smoke. Looks really nice. I'm digging that. We do get his soft goods trench coat. Feels like, I get a little bit of, there's some wire along the collar and then along the edges of the coat. You have his belt here, which has a wire in it, and then you do get an extra belt here, I guess, if this comes unstitched. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why they threw in a second belt, but yeah, this does look good. I can't wait to see what that looks like on him. And then, of course, we do get his briefcase with the soft, pliable handcuffs there, and then it does open up, and you can see all of this stuff on the inside. A pistol, a knife, some extra rounds, like maybe a suppressor, and then a phone, and then all kinds of like tech details. You could probably put, maybe 1 or 2 of your favorite hands in there if you wanted to, keep them out and put the rest in the package. He does come with quite a bit of hands on him in the package. He does have 2 trigger finger hands on vertical hinges on him in the package. He does come with two heads. This head here kind of has the eyebrows raised and kind of a smirk or a little bit of a smile. You can see his eyes underneath there. The glasses are molded on, which I love. They're a separate piece, but they're glued on. That's the way to do glasses, Hasbro. Again, here is the same style of head. You can see sort of like the differences there. This one is more of a serious look. You can see that the glasses are just like that. They're a separate piece, but they are glued on. As far as the rest of the hands go, you get a left pointing finger on a vertical hinge. You get a left thumbs up hand on a vertical hinge. You get two gripping hands with, that could be trigger finger hands because the index fingers are separate. These are on horizontal hinges. You get two punchies on horizontal hinges as well. And then these two are really nice. So you get a hand here, which could be used for gesturing towards his glasses, which is really neat, maybe holding onto one of the frames. And my favorite hand, his left hand holding the badge. Maybe I just missed this in all of the promo images, but I was surprised when I pulled this out. I really dig that. I like that a lot. That looks really cool. All right, bringing the figure out here, looking at Bulletproof. He looks very, very nice. This figure is very well made. I love the detail on this guy. The beautiful shade of like banana cream yellow that they chose for his upper shirt is just absolutely beautiful. I love this color. And then one of the subtleties that I love about this is this shading around the upper part of his pants and then down in the wrinkles. It's a very subtle spray and it looks really nice. But, getting in there on that detail on his chest and his abdomen is just insane. Like, it looks so good. And I love that it's not a shiny vac metal. I love that it's not like a dull, it's kind of got this satin finish to it, like a semi-gloss, which I love. I think that's absolutely perfect. There's just, man, it just looks so incredibly good. This guy is just fantastic, and this makes me so happy because Cops and Crooks is one of my favorite toy lines as a kid. I loved all the figures. I had a ton of them. I had a bunch of the vehicles, and to know that they're coming back in this level of quality just makes me so freaking happy. Let's see here. Let's see if we can do all of this while he's on the base and I'm behind the camera. Let's see here. Should probably take the hands off to do this. And of course, he's going to be in that same scale as Operation Monster Force, G.I. Joe, Classified Series, your Action Force figures, your Marvel Legends. They're all going to scale perfectly well together in that 6-inch scale. There you have it. And that looks really, really good. I think the coat is like a really good size and scale as far as like the stitching and the belt and the buttons. And of course, if you want to close that up to where you can't see any of his cybernetics, you certainly can. Let's see if we can get this. Probably not going to be able to thread this on camera. I'm probably going to have to go get a pair of tweezers. I'm not going to be able to do that on camera, so I'm not even going to try to fool with it. But yeah, there you have it. If you want to, have it closed up, if you want to have the collar popped up, you certainly could. Oh man, that just looks great. All the way around, the extra little piece around the top just looks fantastic. Yeah, that's pretty dope. Let's see here. Let's take this off because I do want to go over articulation just in case, we have somebody out there in the audience that has not gotten their hands on, like, say, an Operation Monster Force figure yet, and maybe doesn't know how these guys articulate. But, it's pretty standard stuff. It's what you're going to get with G.I. Joes. We do have a butterfly joint, which is really nice. Figures are going to be able to, the arms are going to be able to go up on this guy and hit that T-pose, no problem. Be able to go all the way around. Upper bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows can collapse all the way. Depending on which hands you have the hinge and the swivel right there. We do have an upper ball joint on that upper diaphragm. So we have a lower ball joint. So you engage both of those together. You can crunch forward that far, crunch back that far. Not even like really any gap to speak of. Can rotate all the way around at the waist. No drop down at the hip, but legs can go all the way forward, no problem. All the way out to the side about that far, and then can go back about that far. You do have some very nice hidden upper thigh articulation and not much ball joint at the top of the hip. Then you've got double jointed pinless legs, and then you've got your hinge and forward facing pin down there for rocker. So let's pull out a couple of other like 80s action figure toy lines that have made a comeback recently and give you a size comparison. All right, just to give him a little quick size comparison with, like, let's say your Super 7 offerings. He's a little smaller. Their figures are going to run about 7 inches. You can see he's a little bit smaller than that, which is okay. Man, he looks so good next to them. If you wanted to put him in with, like, say, your Action Force, you certainly could do that. And of course, he's going to scale very well with the Operation Monster Force, Soldiers of Fortune, any other figures that Big Bad Workshop is working on. So let's get this guy into some lighting and into some backgrounds and see how he poses up. This is better than I could have asked for. I love Cops and Crooks. I love all the crazy, kooky characters on the bad guys. I love all of the gimmicky good guys. It was absolutely one of my favorite toy lines as a kid. And I'm glad that somebody besides Super 7 is making them. And not because I don't like Super 7. I do. I like the products that they make. I like my Thundercats. I love my Silverhawks. I'm excited for the Tiger Sharks. That's another toy line I had as a kid that I'd love to have on my shelf now as an adult. But I'm glad that somebody else is making them so that we get a different perspective. We have different ideas. We have different techniques and ways of articulation that can really sort of like broaden the horizon for these types of 80s remakes. I would love it if if Big Bad Workshop would get like maybe Brave Star. That'd be kind of cool. Could they do something with, I don't know, maybe Jason the Wheeled Warriors? I don't know. Like any of those things would be kind of cool. I would love to see Big Bad Workshop definitely dive more into more of the 80s properties and see what they could get their hands on. But you guys let me know, who would you like to see from the 80s Big Bad Workshop get their hands on and turn into a toy line like they're doing Cops and Crooks? And who are your favorite Cops and Crooks characters? I love Long Arm, and he's coming next. And then I love, I forgot the guy's name, but like the cowboy, like I think he would be really cool. Sundown, I think maybe was his name. I'd love that guy. I can't wait to get my hands on him. And then there was the guy who rode the motorcycle. I just loved his look. I forgot his name. But let me know in the comments down below what you think. Please be sure to check out our podcast, which is called Across the Toyverse, wherever you download podcasts. And be sure to check us out over at Instagram at Saturday Morning Toy Collector. I am your Saturday Morning Toy Collector, Mark, and I'll see you in the toy aisles.